7:47, 57 and 7 are divided 30 minutes. Yeah. Hello everybody, here we are, and it's 7:37 right now. That simply means 40, 50, 60, 70. For 30 minutes around I can be live, and after that of course I have to leave because I have some work to do. But in between I hope I'm not gonna be facing the network issue and all, because the last time I was facing that. Let me make sure everything up and running, and then I'll get it done really quick. Whoa, how fast you are, man. I mean, literally. Hi, good to see you. Oh, sorry, I have turned the chats off by mistake. Sorry, I'm in the habit of doing that, so I'm gonna be turning it on this time. You were so quick this time. Usually I turn the chats off really quick, bro. You remember me? Name Musk. Probably not. I'm sorry. Just with the help of the username, without any face, you are asking me to just remember. By the way, tell me more. I'm gonna be keeping this on the left side if possible. The thing is that it is not really possible for me to just. I ask you how to learn full stack. Just start learning. I mean, there are resources out there. You can just simply start learning. Whoever has completed the course on YouTube, just simply start following that if you are going with the free resources. Otherwise, you can go with the paid resources as well. There are many options. Simply start following. This is how it just simply goes on. I asked 2 months ago, 2 months back. Oh my god. It's been quite some time. Not really. If possible, get in touch. Text me on WhatsApp. I would, if you want to directly get in touch. So WhatsApp is gonna be the best option to just simply contact. And as for right now, if there's anything, text me on WhatsApp. I would love to just simply answer the questions as well. As for right now, I'm gonna be just simply turning the chats off because I have only 30 minutes, and after that I have to leave. And within this, I'm following a creating course from Telegram. Good job. What else could be better than this? Ultimately, you have good teacher. Doesn't matter from where you are learning. And as you are learning, then yeah, continue. And keep learning. That would be great. I completed backend. Congratulations for completing the backend stuff. Unfortunately, right now I will have to just turn it off because I have to just simply start I have to start working on the main part, that DevOps part right now. And as for if you have something that you wanna ask, just simply text me on WhatsApp. I will just get in touch with you directly. Okay, this was the previous live that was going on, and of course because of the network issues, I couldn't really, I couldn't really be live, and that is why I just simply recorded the things and all. And right now, what I mainly done, mainly this DevOps part was going on. And if you know about DevOps, you will understand. If you don't know, then forget about this, whatever I'm doing here. So get pods. When it comes to the pods, so I have a database running over here. I have Ingress running over here. This is the manual Ingress. Apart from this particular thing, get pods, and I have different pods of two different things. First one is from the backend team. Second one is from the front end team. So backend team, right? So I wanna get the pods of the backend team, just like this. So ultimately, two backend pods are running right now, and apart from this particular thing, when it comes to the front end, so that's only one front end is running, and it is already deployed, so we don't really need to worry about that as well. So yeah, one front end is running, and right now what is happening? If I talk about the services, so get SVC. So I'm using manual Ingress over here. That simply means this load balancer. I'm using there is a pod that is running Nginx. The requests are going to that particular pod, and that pod is exposed externally using load balancer. And this is the URL kind of DNS that I got from the AWS side. And once I have it here, so on Hostinger, this is the DNS that I got, and I'm just simply referencing this DNS with the subdomains. So KTH frontend, KTH backend, it is just simply being referenced. And once this is done, then that is it. And now if I make a request to the front end, there is a problem. I will even tell you the problem. If you know that, let me know the answer as well. This is the front end. If I make a request to http:// k@edge frontend dot coding the code dot site, just like this, enter. So I'm getting proper result. Okay, so ultimately it is even connected to the backend. So if I show you the overall flow, so inside my cluster I have a database running, I have a front-end running, I have a backend running that has two pods, pod number 1, pod number 2, and I have a reverse proxy. This reverse proxy is first of all request goes to this reverse proxy, and after that if that is a front-end request, the request goes to here. If that is a backend request goes to the backend part, and backend talks to the database, gets the data, returns to the front end. So this is how it just simply goes on. Okay, cannot really explain the things in detail because of course we've talked about all these things enough. And right now the problem is that if I directly go to the front end, so k-attach front end coding the code dot site, it works, and front end sends the request to the backend. So if I say I can just simply add my name, so suppose Vipin Singh Patel, and let's click on add. So this simply gets added, that works fine. Keep in mind this is running in this is kind of Kubernetized, this is not the right word, but this is running inside the pod. So ultimately this is running inside a Kubernetes environment. So okay, so front end, database, all these things, and the backend, all of them are running inside the Kubernetes environment. And right now the problem is, if I send a request to k-attach backend coding the code dot site, I'm getting the result. So backend is working well. Okay, these are the things that I have. Just this one I just added right now. So backend is working. If I just replace it with the front end, not this one, yeah. Sorry, let it be backend right now. And if I make a request to the backend over here, and slash users, of course, so I'm getting the result from the backend, right? If I make it front end, and if I remove this users from here, because front end I just had the basic URL, so I'm getting the result over here. There is only one problem, and that problem is, if I make a request to HTTP, it works. I'm even gonna be getting the result over here. Okay, but in case if I make it HTTPS, if I make the front end HTTPS, it doesn't work. And that's the main issue, and that's the same thing I was facing, that's the same error I was facing the day before. And it is just simply saying that WSS k-attach and whatever, all these things. So the question is, and one more thing, let me go to HTTP again. In HTTP, oh come on yaar, literally you've got to be kidding me. HTTP / k-attach front end coding the code dot site, just like this. So it should be working right now. Yeah, it is working. So what is actually happening? Well, let me show you the code of the front end. So here inside the front end, what am I doing? This is the front end app, and I have two components over here. The first one is add user, second one is the get users. Doesn't matter which one I click. Let me click on the get users. I'm using HTTPS k-attach and this. That simply means if my front end, whenever I go to the front end URL, by default the front end URL is this, HTTP k-attach. How to write this? HTTP, I think this is way, k-attach front end and dot coding the code dot site. This is the URL of the front end. Now if I go to this particular URL, ultimately this code runs, as simple as that. And when this code runs, so from the front end side, the request goes to the backend, gets the user data, then simply shows the user data. Pretty simple. So if I go to this particular URL, it works. It simply sends the request. But if I try to go to this one, HTTPS k-attach and the remaining stuff same, then I get WebSocket related errors, and I don't know what is the reason behind this. HTTP works, and if I'm sending the request, what could be the reason behind this? If I'm sending the request from here, so the request definitely goes to Ingress. Let me even check that whether the request goes to, first of all let me send the request using this one. So coming back to this, the new request is gonna be going here. It does work here, it gets the data and all. And let me check the Ingress first of all. Ingress is the reverse proxy here, and again that is manual Ingress, because I'm not using a real Ingress over here, rather I wrote the code on my own. that does the job like Ingress. And as for the Ingress, we will be exploring that. LSK get pods. So this is the Ingress that I have. How many minutes do I have? First of all, 19 minutes. Okay, consider 20. So k get k logs. I'm gonna be checking the log of this Ingress, right? In the follow mode, that should be enough. So these are the requests that came to the Ingress, and what will I be doing right now? Pretty simple stuff. I will be sending the request to the Ingress. So for that thing, let me reload this page once, and that is it. Oh my god, I got so many requests at the same time. So these are the requests that I did get, right? So good stuff. I'm getting this requests here. How about if I make it HTTPS, just like this, simple send. Turns out I'm still getting the requests. So what is the problem here? The request is still comes here. It hits, the request hits the what? The request does hit the Ingress. Wow, amazing. And that is why I'm able to see the result. Yeah, of course, yeah. How can I even think that it is not hitting the Ingress? It is definitely hitting the Ingress, and from the Ingress side it is also being redirected. So the reverse proxy that I have, that is also working. So let me stop it over here. So this is the Ingress reverse proxy, the manual Ingress that I have created. So reverse proxy of the Ingress. So ultimately what happens, the request comes, and there is Nginx working behind the scene. So no need to worry about anything exactly how it works. So if the request comes to K8s backend, the request is redirected to this particular URL. Again, this part, backend service, backend team, SVC, cluster, local, it simply gives you the IP address of that of the service. So even if you write a backend service, this should usually work. So even writing this much should not be problematic, if I'm not wrong. If I just simply remove this whole part, I will be checking this. This is gonna be a to do. So let me have this over here, a to do.md, remove, just use backend service and front end service, and see if it works directly. This is the to do because AI told me that you can just simply write this and it would work. So that's what I have to check. Okay, and the requests are redirected to this. If that is a front end request, request is redirected here. This is working fine. The thing is that the front end got if I make HTTPS request will come to the load balancer. Load balancer will simply forward the request to this one, HTTP. And when the request comes here, the front end is gonna be visible. I think I need to ask the AI regarding this because I'm not getting any way around this. Exactly why am I facing this? So let me take a screenshot of this. Let me go to ChatGPT. I hope it will be able to just give me some valid reasons behind this behavior. Alrighty. So the thing is that my front end is hosted on how am I supposed to be explaining as well? Okay, so my front-end, backend, and database, all these three are running inside a Kubernetes cluster, and even there is a reverse proxy that I have created manually using Nginx. So it's like there is a pod, and when the request goes to that particular pod, so that pod is responsible for forwarding the request to respective pods, like front-end one or the backend one, depending on the depending on the URL of the request. And apart from this particular thing, my front end is actually the front end URL is k8s frontend dot coding the code dot site, and the backend URL is k8s backend dot coding the code dot site. But the problem is here, the problem actually comes over here, that when I go to http dot k8s hyphen frontend dot coding the code dot site, I get the result, and even my front end is able to talk to the backend and get the data, and so everything works fine. But the problem occurs when I go to https://frontend.codingthecode.site. In this particular case, I start getting some kind of WebSocket errors on the front end side, the same front end, the same URL. And again, in my front end, when I'm making the request to the backend, I'm using HTTPS because my load balancer has been configured to use certificates as well. So at the end of the day, my backend, load balancer, my load balancer accepts both the types of requests, HTTP as well as HTTPS. And when I send the request, especially here I'm talking about the front end, when I make a request to HTTP, it works great. And if I make a request to HTTPS, though I see the front end, it's not like the front end is not visible. I see the front end, but the functionality wise, it doesn't work at all. But and when it comes to the backend part, doesn't matter what I use, whether that is HTTPS or HTTP, in both the cases, it works great. So now I'm confused what's wrong with this HTTPS, because in my load balancer, I have already configured this, and still when I make a request to HTTPS and then KTS / frontend.codingthecode.site and all, at that time I get the front end, but the functionality wise nothing works, and lots of web requests, WebSocket type requests just keep getting pending, just like that. Tell me the reason behind it. It's been too much, yeah. I didn't know, seriously. How could I explain the problem that I'm facing right now? It was hard for me to just simply explain, so I just simply, whatever came to my mind, I added it here. Hopefully it will be able to convert everything in the text format and then simply give me the idea. This actually is a classic HTTPS and WebSocket reverse proxy issue. Your setup is mostly correct. The problem is how HTTPS traffic is being handled and forwarded. Let's break it down. What's really happening? HTTP case works. So browser HTTP request, load balancer HTTP, Nginx reverse proxy HTTP. Okay, backend frontend ports. That's right. Everything is plain HTTP. No protocol upgrade, works fine. HTTPS case broken. Browser HTTPS, load balancer, SSL termination, Nginx HTTP internally, backend or WebSocket. Now the issue starts. The problem, WebSocket requires upgrade headers. WebSocket are not normal HTTP, not this. It's not like I'm using WebSocket. The thing is that whenever I make a request to the front end using HTTPS, at that time, front end starts showing the WebSocket related issues. Let me even show you. I'm attaching an image regarding that, and front end works in both the cases, HTTP and HTTPS. Backend doesn't have any problem, but the front end does have a problem. So just help me with this. Let me take the screenshot of it right now. So this is it, right? So network, reload the page. This is the come on. This is the issue that I'm facing. It's gonna be interesting, but the thing is that HTTP works. Forget about the HTTPS. We'll make it works even somehow. But the thing is that at the end of the day, once it is resolved, I will have learned quite new stuff. Now I can see clearly the issue from your screenshot. This is not your backend WebSocket. This is Next.js dev mode WebSocket. I'm using dev mode. Yeah, that's right. HMR hot module reloading. So what exactly is happening from your screenshot? This is created by Next.js automatically, not by you. So important. Even if you are not using WebSockets, Next.js uses WebSockets internally in development mode for hot reload and live updates. Why HTTP works but HTTPS breaks? HTTP case, WebSocket works fine. HTTPS case, a WebSocket requires proper proxy support, and your Nginx is not handling WebSocket upgrade properly. So HMR connection stage pending, front-end JS breaks, partially UI loads, but functionality fails. Yeah. Proof from your screenshot, connection upgrade, this browser is trying to connect, but the no proper response is stuck. Okay, got it. Root cause 100% confirmed. Your Nginx reverse proxy is not configured to support WebSocket upgrade over HTTPS. There are two things. First of all, I'm directly using Next.js in the development mode. I have just simply pushed containerized this, and that is still running in the development mode. Fix this will solve. What will solve it? So update your nginx config to frontend, and this proxy set header, extra important fix for this HTTPS, and also this. The thing is that what all I have inside my config, that let me check that. So let me keep it on the left, let me keep it on the right, and let me check what manifest.ml. This is the front end one. This is the one that I have for the front end. And what's wrong with this? Interesting. So the first of all, I have the URL proxy pass, HTTP version 1 that I already have. Set header upgrade $HTTP. Okay, that's fine. Then proxy set header. Let me give it to this completely, because if I just simply keep checking, it may not be able to. What's wrong with this? Let's see. Gonna be crazy. I mean, not crazy, amazing actually. Your config is almost correct, but a few small important things are missing, and those are exactly why HTTP probably, hopefully it's gonna be resolved automatically. So your current config is this. What's wrong? Connection upgrade is not always correct. So proxy set header connection upgrade, this forces all requests to be upgraded request, but only WebSocket request need upgrade. Okay, that's fine. So correct way, map this dollar connection, this default this. What am I supposed to do? Just a minute. Dollar map, dollar HTTP upgrade, dollar connection upgrade, default upgrade, this close, then proxy set header connection, and this missing HTTPS awareness, very important. You are behind a load balancer doing SSL termination. I'm behind load balancer. Yeah, that's right. Nginx doesn't know request was HTTPS. Nginx doesn't know request was HTTPS. Yeah. So Nginx thinks this is HTTP. That breaks secure WebSocket WSS. So proxy set header X forwarded scheme. Add this X forwarded proto scheme. Let me see whether I have this X forwarded. I don't really have that. Missing standard proxy headers, not mandatory but important. Okay, so ultimately this is what I'm supposed to be having at the end. What am I gonna be doing? Honestly, I'm gonna be copying and pasting. So let me copy it all. Let me paste it here. Oi. Just a minute. Okay, there are so many things. It needs to be at the top of what? Map. Your request cache front end. So it is just simply asking me to add this as well, this map related stuff. But the question is, where am I supposed to be adding this? Okay, this definitely can be added, but again it needs to be only for the front end part. First of all, I'm gonna be adding everything, then I will check whether it works or not, and then I will understand. If it doesn't work, then what? Nothing. Just like this. So this particular part is sort of done, and then the remaining server related code that I have. So would be better if I just simply copy the whole thing from here, and gonna be this stuff, right? Pasting the stuff again. No. This is fine, isn't this? Yeah, I think so. Let me make it full screen. So this is what I have right now. Hopefully whatever I've done, that's correct. So HTTPS upgrade connection, I don't know what it does, even if I have taken the help of AI, but it doesn't really make sense to me right now. So I'm gonna be just digging deeper into it, and in case if it works. If it doesn't work, forget about everything. Alrighty, so what am I gonna be doing? The reverse proxy that I have to just simply upgrade this. If I upgrade the reverse proxy, do I need to do anything else? Not really. I mean, configure the reverse proxy. So k get ports. So I have Ingress over here, and once I have this Ingress, ls k apply I need to, this is the deployment, it will automatically be done. Yeah, I don't really need to do anything, I have to just simply apply reverse proxy manifest ml. It is configured kget pods. If you actually have a look over here, so this ingress रात के 8 बजे, you forget about that. This was started 3 hours back. That simply means even if I have configured that, it does not have any effect. When it comes to this particular proxy, it does have a deployment, and that deployment just mounts all these things. So do I need to scale it? Yeah, because you are not quite changing anything here. That's right, deployment is not being changed, and because of that thing I will have to scale down the deployment. So k scale what, k scale deployment, I can even make it a bit bigger in case it's not visible. So deployment, so k scale deployment, I wanna scale the deployment, and what should that be? I wanna scale the deployment of this one. Not really, bro, you are wrong here. K get deployment, this is the deployment that I have, right? So k scale deployment ingress, I hope I'm right over here. And apart from this particular thing, the replicas, how many replicas I want? I want 0 replicas right now. Let's simply run this. K get deployment means, so right now 0 replicas of ingress. Great. Now time to get 1 replica back. Check this thing again. 0 by 1, it should be starting very soon. Bling bling bling. 1 by 1 right now. That's great. So right now I have 1 replica, and it is quite running. That simply means I have everything configured well. Should it be working? Most probably, as per the AI, if that is that. Let me even check that. I'm gonna be going inside the pod, that would be better. So k get pods, this is the pod, this is the ingress pod that I have. K execute in the interactive mode, this is the pod that I want to execute. SSH. Now I'm inside the pod. I have to go to cd slash, I'm already there, right? cd etc ls and cd Next.js, not Next.js, Nginx. It doesn't work. Nginx ls. Inside Nginx I have my Nginx config. I have to cat this, cat Nginx, अरे भाई Nginx config. Here we are. Do I have the same result? अरे भाई server, yeah, I have whatever I just added. That simply means everything's been applied. The question is, am I gonna be getting the result or not? So if I reload the page, no, facing the same problem. Wait and see. Let's see how it's gonna be going on. The lesser the time I have. Good, we are very close. Your config is mostly correct, but the real issue is not just the Nginx anymore. From your latest screenshot plus config, I can confirm Nginx config is now mostly fine. The problem is happening at the load balancer SSL termination layer. What's actually breaking? You are seeing WebSocket connection. This failed. This means flow right now. Browser HTTPS plus WebSocket load balancer termination. Then Nginx HTTP this. So the real problem, your load balancer is not forwarding the WebSocket upgrade correctly, even though Nginx is ready. Browser is sending the upgrade headers. Arey bhai. Okay, that it's time, isn't this? Ah, do I have? I have 3 more minutes. Just imagine that I have. The real problem, your load balancer is okay, fine. Browser is sending upgrade headers. The load balancer is dropping or not forwarding the upgrade headers. Why? Works, but why? HTTP works, but HTTPS fail. WebSocket passes normally. Okay, then WebSocket requires upgrade headers connection. Load balancer is breaking this chain. So how to confirm this? Very important. Run this kubectl logs nginx pod. You will not see WebSocket requests reaching nginx. That proves load balancer is the issue. Interesting. Let me see that. Exit. Ls. K get pods namespace content team K logs this namespace content team. So okay, I have to just follow it. The question is, I wanna check whether I get the requests or not. Reload the page. Coming back to this one. Reload the page. I am getting the request. I reloaded the wrong one. Probably I reloaded the wrong one. Reload it, then come back here. Getting the result, getting the requests. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, doesn't matter how long it takes, I'm gonna be figuring it out. I do get the requests. Jai ho. Good, the screenshot changes the diagnosis. Now we can say that with the confidence, request is reaching your front-end pod, but it is returning 404 nginx HMR. What this means? From logs get this 404. This is not a proxy issue anymore. This is a Next.js behavior issue. Real root cause final. Your Next.js app is not running in dev mode properly. Huh? Because in dev mode, this HMR should exist. Web HMR. In production mode, does not exist 404. So what's happening? Browser thinks I am in dev mode, I need HMR WebSockets, but server is actually running in production mode. No HMR. Really? Is that so? WebSockets tries to why it works with HTTP. This is the key question. The answer is finally make everything click. Short answer: it works on HTTP because the browser uses this less strict, and it breaks on HTTPS because the browser enforces this. What's actually happening? When I don't have time. Alrighty, everybody, I'll be back within 10 minutes. But I have to just go to the fields and get some work done. I know it's night, still I have to go there. Okay, I'm gonna be back soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye. I'm gonna be back within 10 to 15 minutes or something. Until then, bye bye. Take care and see you.